Hi Aries, welcome. It's Meredith. I am here with a monthly reading for November 2020. I know I took a couple of months off, but I'm happy to be back doing these again. And I've had a new inspired idea for the layout for the monthly reading for you. So I've chosen, well, before we get started, I'm going to recommend, as I so often do, that you watch your sun, moon, and rising videos. This will give you a whole lot of intuitive content to navigate the energy atmosphere of November. So, that said, I've chosen Queen of the Moon Oracle to represent the overall theme of energy for Aries in the month of November. And then we're going to use Tarot of the Cat People to take a more in-depth look at each one of these oracle cards for you. And for those of you who are numerology buffs, this reading got started at 11:11. Yeah, love that. Okay, your first card, Aries, is faith. So this is about keeping the faith. And that is quite likely connected to what it is you are bringing to life in your world. And that process, that journey may be feeling a tiny bit arduous for you at this time. So whenever I see a faith card of any kind in tarot or oracle, it's often indicating that a person might need to be digging a bit deeper for it at this time. There's no shortage of it. You just have to tap into it and trust yourself. What does the tarot have to say about it for you, though? Your first card is, well, there it is. Just to confirm what I was saying, there's the Ten of Swords. This card is referred to as the Fallen Master in tarot. And tens are about reaching completion and fulfillment with an experience or a phase of life experience. So the Ten of Swords is moving on from this scenario. With 10 swords, usually we see them plunged into the back of a person. You know, they're pinned to the ground with those swords, and transition or the death of an energy appears imminent on the card. What I feel for you, Aries, is that there has been a way of being, thinking, feeling, and as a result, doing that you've outgrown, you've moved on from. And it's taken a whole lot of your faith to invest in yourself to move on from what may have been comfortable. Even if it was dysfunctional, it was still comfortable, but you're not willing to live in the dysfunction. So at the time of the reading, it's the 23rd of October, and for a couple of weeks in the daily readings here on the channel, there's been a message of taking a look at what's making us uncomfortable. We're in a Mercury retrograde at this time, which will complete on November 3rd, sometime in the middle of the day, depending on your time zone. But the point of it is that, the point of the swords is that we're taking a look at what's in subconscious that doesn't serve us. We've had the sun show up in the daily readings so much that the message is all about really putting a spotlight on things that are typically in shadow for us. And as we've looked into the shadowy depths of our subconscious, we have decided to no longer live comfortably with whatever could be a limitation or an obstacle that's been holding us back. And the feeling here, Aries, is that you were not unaware of the energy of the Ten of Swords. You may have felt somewhat out of sorts. You may have felt somewhat lacking in the will department to move an energy along. There may have been other people connected to or involved with whatever was dysfunctional for you, and you committed to your heart space, knowing love is the most powerful force there is and the most powerful energy there is. So you've come into your heart space, and you've had to hold and keep the faith there for this 10 of Swords life experience to fulfill itself. And that's what's happening in November. So what you may experience is an exacerbation of these energies. They may feel like they are getting bigger and more expressive before the bubble bursts, we'll say. And when that happens, when that energy moves off of your foundation, you're going to feel a tremendous sense of freedom. You may actually feel a little bit disoriented in the passing of that energy. It may feel so unusual to not bear the burden of the 10 of Swords. I know that's usually assigned to the 10 of Wands, but I do feel it here intuitively for you. So what comes with this? 7 of Wands. I'm actually not surprised to see that card. It is a card of defensiveness, taking a defensive posture. And for an Aries, that can be a default setting when they're challenged. You know, an Aries can quite directly react, and it's wise to respond instead, we'll say, because the feeling is if you go into reaction, defensive reaction mode, you're going to have damage control to take. You're going to have to do damage control after the fact, and that doesn't necessarily serve your greater purpose. I'm getting a feeling here from the 10 of Swords that you're being asked to look at the bigger picture and keep the faith for that. Stay connected to your heart space. The 7s in tarot are all about heaven touching earth, and I feel for you, Aries, as you look at this, you're like, when is it my turn? I literally hear that from my guides as I look at this alignment. And that's what you're keeping the faith for. You are going to bring something to fulfillment. It's going to feel amazing for you. What comes with your 7 of Wands? Yeah. 7 of Pentacles. This is you are so close, closer than you think, though it feels the opposite. And now you have a double 7 here in the reading. So let's just take that into consideration, because 7s are about heaven touching earth within our own hearts in tarot. So 7 of Pentacles isn't exactly the fulfillment of the 10 of Pentacles, but it's darn close. You have the ripening harvest on the vine. It's nearly ready to be picked. And you are wisely staying in allowing for that. This isn't something that you can rush and you know it, even though you'd like to. So keep the faith for the harmonious alignment of life events and experiences. And monitor your defensiveness when you feel challenged by your own ability to keep the faith, or in the presence of others who might want to challenge you and say, you know, why don't you just move on from this or that? Just let that go. And maybe you're not done with it. So just be in response and allowing rather than reacting and, dysfunctionally persisting. Okay? And then, yes, look at this, 9 of Cups. And this is why you do it, because this is a dream coming true for you. Now, it's not something that can be forced. It can't be pushed. You have invested all of the appropriate harmonious energy. And like the ripening harvest, you can't pick it before it's ready. It is flowing to you. So you're coming into fulfillment and completion in a way that will have you overflowing with joy and happiness. And I also am hearing from my guides right now, stay the course. Keep doing what you're doing, and that will help you maintain your sense of faith. Now your next card is change, and it's perfect because that's what you asked for and what you're keeping the faith for. And sometimes the process of communing with the divine all and saying, I am in perfect union, it feels great, and we know that the very change that we're making is so satisfying and fulfilling, and it's an overflow of joy, though change can also feel uncomfortable, and keep that in mind, because the things you've dreamed for, Nine of Cups, are coming true. They're landing on your foundation, and then you need to accommodate them. You need to accommodate the life experience to fully embrace what it is you've made change for, what you have co-created with the divine all. And when we're dreaming about it, when we're dreaming for it, we're like, oh yeah, of course, that'll be awesome, right? And then it's there. And you're thinking, wow. And here's a dramatic way to metaphorically give you an example of that. You know, having children, and you're so excited to have your child come into the world, and then you're home with your brand new baby, and you had no idea you were going to be awake for 20 hours straight. But would you change the bliss and the love and the joy or any of it? No, of course you wouldn't. But you have to learn to live harmoniously with the change that comes your way. So let's see what cards are supporting that. Well, there's your Ten of Pentacles, as we were talking about here, next to your 7. So over here in your first row, you're keeping the faith, right? And there's excited anticipation. There may be even a little bit of frustrated waiting from time to time, but the Ten of Pentacles is the fulfillment that you have been holding space for. The satisfaction, the joy, the overflow, the happiness. The Ten of Pentacles in particular is a legacy card. This is a card about what we have to share, what we have to pass on. And this is what you are in faith for, and this is the change that's coming, and it's unfolding for you at this time. It's beautiful. There's confirmation for you right there that the dream is fulfilling. Oh, I like it for you. Next, Two of Swords. Oh, the cards are just going to drive this point home for you, Aries. It's beautiful. See, now it fulfills. You have it. The very change you've prayed for, asked for, manifested for, invested energy for is here on your foundation. And the Two of Swords has you in some sort of mental opposition. There is a lack of clarity, a little bit of confusion. So like the metaphor I gave you, you've got to learn how to live harmoniously with the very things that you've been creating. And the Two of Swords is about making a decision and a choice here. And it's representative of, you know, we move from the Ace, the one sword, to the second sword to make two. But there's some sort of disharmonious misfiring or even misalignment of energies, and we have to go quiet within the center of our beings to find our answer, to allow ourselves to be guided. And this card is one about being in alignment between head and heart. And I feel that this card is also all about trusting ourselves. So when you receive the very thing you were holding faith for, that you didn't think would come, that you were closer to than you ever thought you were, and it blossoms right in front of you, and you're in the, oh wow, I didn't expect it to be like this. Yes, thank you so much. I created exactly what I desired to create. Now how do I live in that? Go within, get into your heart, stay there, accommodate it, allow the energies to sort themselves out. And then you have the Queen of Cups. Listen to your intuition. Continue to be guided. There's the answer right there. Listen to your inner wisdom, your inner voice. I feel and I sense, Aries, that you will be in deep appreciation for everything that's blossoming and unfolding for you. And the whole experience may be disconcerting and uncomfortable, though it brings you the kind of love, joy, bliss, and happiness that you were feeling at the beginning of the manifestation process. So that's exciting. Also, the Queen of Cups. She is representative of our intuitive voice. She's also emotionally awake, aware, alert, and intimate. And she has a very small circle of close friends. These are people who are exceptionally loyal. So she'll have a ton of acquaintances, but only a few loyal friends. And when you find yourself in this type of atmosphere, it might be wise for you to consult your most loyal soul tribe. Talk it out. And then move forward. Next, we have King of Pentacles. I like that as well. This is you, Aries, not rushing onto the scene. You know that your sign is very direct. You're not one to stand around and drag your feet or even procrastinate. You are a very take action, direct sign. And the King of Pentacles will take things quite slowly. His energy is extremely grounded. His awareness is focused on how everything we do is important. He celebrates the present. He is in cherishing and savoring, and he understands that that energy itself, savoring, cherishing, appreciating, is fuel for the becoming. And that's the position you end up taking, Aries. And it may be a departure from your personality because you do like to, settle things quickly. You don't stand around wondering. It's just not your way of being, which is a lovely quality. Though at times you've rushed onto the scene, things have happened prematurely and you've been completely unprepared and they've just fallen apart for you. Wisely, though, you take the position of the King of Pentacles and you embrace the change that is unfolding because it is coming out of the faith you held in heart space for this beautiful harvest on the vine, dreams coming true. So you know that rushing forward is somewhat defensive, protective even, and maybe a bit ego-driven. And you wisely choose not to do that this time. And it really serves you, which brings us to our next card, and that's all about sovereignty. And this is about you being sovereign to your self-relationship. Now, you may share with your soul tribe your process of what's going on, but you are ultimately going to defer to your inner wisdom and intuition, and that's what it is to be sovereign to the self. Take the advice, consider the advice, we'll say. Turn it all over. Look at it from every angle possible, but run it through the filter of self-relationship and then take an action. That's what you're doing here when you pause like the King of Pentacles. Beautiful. Let's see what the tarot has to say. Yes, now you have the Star. This card is representative of everything that is coming into fulfillment at this time. The Star is a manifestation card. It is a creation card. It is a recreation card. It follows the Tower in tarot, which means when the tower comes down and we stand amid the debris field and we think, feel, perceive that all has been lost, we walk on from that and we start over. We create anew. And in some way, that's what's happening here. You're receiving the very blessing that you have been investing your energy in and in co-creation for with the divine all. Some things had to go, though, to make way for that, and the Star represents just that aspect of it. So you've moved deep into the creation phase. It's blossoming, it's here, it's now. It's worthy of celebration and appreciation, right? And there is simultaneously I feel a connection to the Ten of Swords here, that in some ways, as your heart space manifestations come into fulfillment, part of you wants to come back here to the Ten of Swords when there was a touch of anxiety for whether or not it was ever going to happen. So again, come back to sovereignty of self and know that this fulfillment of your dreams coming true is for your highest and greatest experience. So you can be the very best version of you. And while you may have moments of longing for what was once comfortable but ultimately uncomfortable, you'll have an even deeper appreciation for what's developing. Ooh. Then, look at that, the Emperor. There's your card. That's Aries right there. I love seeing the Emperor here. If ever there is a take charge individual in the tarot, he is it. And he's the divine masculine. He is the father of the tarot. His Aries, his fiery Aries energy is so profound in your reading. This is how you are sovereign to you. You take on all experience like the Emperor. You've learned from past experience not to be too impetuous, not to rush all the way through something, because you know you've missed things along the way, and because of that it didn't fulfill, it didn't satisfy, and you took the lesson of it and turned it into a King of Pentacles type of energy, slowed things down a bit, understood the importance of your contribution, and then that created the allowing for the dream, the wish to fulfill. The vine is ripened, the harvest is being picked here on the Emperor's card. So again, I feel that that is a confirmation message of stay the course. Continue to do what you are doing. Oh, I love that energy for you. And then Three of Pentacles. I love that too, because the Three of Pentacles is a self-mastery card. There is a tremendous benefit in the experience that is unfolding for you at this time, Aries. Through the entire month of November, you will be in celebration for every bit of what you see here, and it creates even more mastery. That's the thing about the Three of Pentacles. It is self-mastery in development. And that's where you will find yourself at the end of it all. Learning to live in a masterful way with your own creations while maintaining your self-sovereignty, keeping the faith, and embracing change. Beautiful. Ooh, leave some comments on that one, Aries, if it's in your heart to do so. Thank you for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe here on the channel. Definitely check out the daily messages and watch your sun, moon, and rising videos. Peace, happiness, congratulations, namaste.